Alex Eala exits Australian Open singles in round 1. Swiatek Gauff advance. Melbourne, Australia, AP. The long queue of fans outside court 6, the chants of Alex, 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 and the fluttering Philippines flags all pointed to where Alexandra Eala was making her Australian Open main draw debut. The 20-year-old Eala made the most of the football-style atmosphere in the first set Monday before Alicia Parks of the US found a way to block all that out and rally for a 0-6, 6-3, 6-2 win. Eala, who registered a career-best number 49 ranking after reaching the ASB Classic semifinals in Auckland, New Zealand last week, is scheduled to play in the doubles first round with Brazilian Ingrid Martins on Tuesday, January 20th. They will face Polish player Magda Linette and Japanese player Shuko Aoyama. Alex Eala. I felt so loved. Eala has developed a big following in the last year after a breakthrough tournament in Miami, where she beat 4 seeded players, including number 2 ranked IGA Swiatek, before losing in the semifinals. She reached the final at Eastbourne after going through qualifying in June. Her fan base expanded again when she beat Clara Torsen in a long third-set tiebreaker in the first round at the US Open last year for her first win in a major. Sports fans in the Philippines have embraced her journey. Organizers could easily have filled one of the big show courts at Melbourne Park for Eala's opener against Parks. Filipino fans were still lined up outside in the third set. For those who got seats, Eala stayed long after Parks had left court and signed autographs. "Yeah, it was so heartwarming," she said. "That's one of the things that makes a loss like today a little bit harder. The fact that everyone came out and really squeezed into that cozy court. I really appreciate it. I felt so loved." Motivation as she teams up with Martins in doubles. But then again, Alicia played really well. And I just hope that the support continues with the losses along with the wins. I think that would really touch me. The vociferous crowd was a distraction for Parks in the first set, but the 25-year-old American harnessed the emotions in the second. "It was very difficult," Parks said. "I was expecting it, but I wasn't. She definitely has a good crowd. I just kept telling myself to stay in the zone." Parks got an early break in the second set before Eala rallied to get back on save. Parks won the last 3 games to take it to a deciding third set, and then dominated. "I was just so focused on the crowd in the first set, which is why it went the way it went," she said. "I don't know what my record is with crowds against me. It definitely puts a fire on me." While Parks advanced, Eala will have to use the singles loss as motivation for the doubles. "I'm still young, 20, so learning how to deal with all of this attention," she said. "I guess this is one of the moments that I can reflect on what this means for Philippine tennis. I'm the only Filipina in the draw this year. I'm the only Filipina that's ever been in the draw, I think. So there are positives to take away. Like I said, so much gratitude and super thankful." The Australian Open has always been a tournament of contrasts. It is summer carved into hard courts, hope stretched under an unforgiving sun, and ambition measured not only in trophies but in moments, some fleeting, some transformative. On one side of Melbourne Park, dreams arrive wide-eyed, wrapped in youth and possibility. On the other, champions walk with the quiet certainty of those who have been here before, who know how to survive the first week and shape the second. In the opening round of the women's singles, this contrast revealed itself clearly. Alex Eala bowed out in round 1. Her journey paused almost as soon as it began. Meanwhile, IGA Swiatek and Coco Gauff moved forward, advancing with the assurance of players whose names already carry weight. It was not merely a matter of wins and losses. It was a story of timing, of chapters opening and closing, of tennis reminding us that every career, no matter how promising, must learn to endure the sharp edge of reality. The first door, Alex Eala's exit. For Alex Eala, stepping onto the Australian Open stage is itself an act of courage. Grand Slams do not offer mercy to youth or reputation. They ask only one question: can you hold your ground today? Her round 1 exit was not a failure so much as an initiation. Tennis, especially at the highest level, has a way of introducing itself bluntly. Eala's racket met the ball with intent, but intent alone does not always quiet the nerves that hum beneath the surface. The stadium, vast, bright, expectant, can feel like an ocean to a young player still learning how to swim against professional currents. Each point becomes a test of composure. Each missed opportunity lingers longer than it should. Yet even in defeat, there is a kind of honesty. Losing in the first round strips the moment down to its essentials. What still needs work? What must be strengthened? What lessons must be carried forward? For Eala, the Australian Open is not a closed chapter but a footnote in a longer story. It says, this is where you stood. This is how far you still want to go. There is something quietly heroic about these early exits. They do not come with press conferences filled with superlatives or highlight reels replayed endlessly on screens. Instead, they live in memory and muscle, shaping future practices, future tournaments, future resilience. Eala leaves Melbourne not with a trophy, but with clarity, and sometimes clarity is the most valuable prize of all. The long walk, Swiatek moves forward. While one journey paused, another continued with measured confidence. Iga Swiatek's advancement felt almost ritualistic, as if she was simply fulfilling a promise already made. Watching her play is like watching a system in motion, efficient, precise, and deeply aware of its own strength. Swiatek does not rush the moment. She builds it. Her footwork lays the foundation. Her strokes finish the thought. In the opening round, advancement was not about spectacle but about control. She understands that Grand Slams are marathons disguised as sprints, and the early rounds are less about brilliance than survival. Her presence on court carries a kind of gravity. Opponents know they must do more than play well. They must play perfectly. This is the burden of greatness, both for the one who carries it and for those who face it. Swiatek's progression is a reminder that excellence, once achieved, demands constant renewal. Every tournament resets the question, can you do it again? For now, her answer remains steady and convincing. Youth with momentum, Gauff advances. If Swiatek represents mastery honed and reinforced, Coco Gauff embodies momentum, youth fused with experience earned early. Her advancement in the opening round carried an energy that felt distinctly her own, confident but curious, powerful yet playful. Gauff's tennis speaks the language of belief. She steps onto the court expecting to compete, expecting to matter. That expectation changes everything. Shots are struck with commitment, movement flows with purpose, and pressure is met not with fear but with defiance. Her progress at the Australian Open feels symbolic of a generation that no longer waits its turn. Gauff has grown up in the spotlight, and instead of shrinking under it, she has learned how to use it, how to transform attention into fuel,